Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Joe from JLib Games coming at you with another cool video. I'm probably late to the party once again, but sorry, I had orientation for work today, so I had to miss the Frontier Unlocked stream, so I had to watch it pretty late today. However, I did watch through all the Planet Coaster 2 content, and I have to say, I am super excited. I did see this roadmap a little bit before I watched it, and I also saw the teaser video that they put out at the end as well, because that got sent to me through email, which I didn't see till well after the stream and everything, because again I had work orientation, so I'm getting back into the swing of work, so my time is a little bit less now to to see these things. But holy crap, I'm so excited. We got so many new things, and I have to praise Frontier, and I know a lot of you out there are going to go on about how this should have all been in here in day one, and you're absolutely right. I'm not, like, saying that, but at the same time, like, I'm 100% agree with all of that. But at the same time, guys, I think we need to move forward. We had a rocky launch. Most games at this day and age do, like, just in general. All right, it's just how it is, unfortunately. We just need to move forward, and I think, depending on what's in the May update, I can forgive Frontier for having this rocky launch, since they are pushing this content out so quickly and fixing everything and all the concerns that everyone wanted in the game at launch. So this update is going to come out on March 20th. So obviously we know that this update's coming out in March 20th. They did really announce that. So barely over a month from February. And who knows when we're going to get the April update. I'd imagine it's a similar time, mid to, later April is probably going to be this update, which they did reveal what's going to be in the April update. Some new stuff that we didn't know. I don't think they really added anything in the March update besides the Western theming coming back. So if you didn't know, they are returning the Western theme from Planet Coaster 1. And it looks like all the pieces are going to be the same from Planet Coaster 1. It literally looks like they're just moving it over. So I would expect April and May to also have returning themes as well. So maybe in April, the April update, maybe they'll bring back sci-fi. May update, maybe they'll bring back fantasy, I don't know, stuff like that, or maybe we'll get multiple back. So that'd be really, really cool. They did reveal a few of the coasters. We're going to go through it here shortly. Some of the coasters that we're getting de-themed versions of, which are also very exciting. I don't think the returning ride is the Vector inverting suspended, so they're bringing back the SLC model. I have a suspicion that they're going to bring back the swinging, the arrow swinging, inverted swinging track. What the heck is it called? You know what I'm talking about, but because that's one I was surprised that wasn't in Planet Coaster 2. I do think that will be one of the ones that come back in either April or May. They are bringing those up, but March is going to have some cool features. This is going to be March 20th, more varied movement of guest rafts. They did display that jettisoning off of flumes, round bottom flumes. They look really, really good with the inflatable deformation, scenery rotation toggle. So now you can do random rotation on scenery. So if you're placing a bunch of trees, it will you can turn it on to where it will just randomly rotate it, so you don't have to rotate it yourself, which is just a quality of life update, right? Custom ride audio will be coming. So obviously you couldn't put in custom audio on your rides, but that is going to be coming, which is very nice. That was one thing I was kind of disappointed with February update, is that you couldn't add that custom audio to your rides, but now that will be in there. They are adding a few career maps to Sandbox, which we'll also get into, and then the stock coasters, which will be the Vekoma. The next-gen Vekoma is getting that. They did not show off if you can do more cars on it, though, which I think they will. But I don't know why they wouldn't show it, but I do think that's going to come, especially with the plane train. But anyways, going into the April update, which is one that we didn't know anything about until today, which is restaurants. And I was happy to hear that restaurants are going to be like they are in Planet Zoo. So they're not just going to be like Planet Coaster 1 where they walk in and walk out. Like, no, this is going to be the setup that Planet Zoo has. So they did mention that, which will be really, really cool. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some new shops at some point. That's really what I want, is more shops. But Frontier Workshop, extra features, so they're going to add some stuff to that. Career maps available, so more career maps. More stock coasters, so we'll see what other D-themed coasters we get. I really hope we get a D-themed RMC in one of these. That's what I'm hoping for. And then an additional ride that has yet to be announced. So I'm assuming it's going to be another returning ride. I think the Aero Suspended Coaster is going to be coming in one of these. That's just one of the ones that I feel like would be a popular one to come back. I think they actually have the coaster supports for it, which is funny. They brought those over, but they didn't actually go to... They went to the suspended coaster ride, so it's just funny that they're not in there. Franchise mode improvements, ongoing stability and performance enhancements. I think this is going to be another great update. I think we'll get another theme back in Planet Coaster 2 from Planet Coaster 1 will also come in. I'm just happy to hear that there's more pieces coming. Over 200 plus pieces are coming in the March update on the 20th. That's just weeks away, guys. We just got the February update, and then a few weeks later, we're going to have the March update, and then a few weeks after that, we're going to get the April update, and so on and so forth. We're getting so much content in the span of these 4 months, I think. And I really just want to say that I appreciate Frontier for really doing everything they can to get this game where it needs to be, or where it should have been for the launch. And I hope it brings all of the players back into this game. Now let's get some of this playing. I'm gonna go ahead and mute it so we can talk over it. So obviously that's the roadmap. Let's go ahead and fast forward here a little bit where they go into a This is, so if you're wondering about the sandbox maps, they are adding the career modes. So this is actually a career mode map, and they're putting it in sandbox, and they're making them empty. So none of the scenery, none of that stuff's going to be in there. So they're adding like the first couple chapters, I think, the tutorial, and then like the first chapter maybe. I could be wrong there. But I hope, I'm excited for the beachfront one. That one's going to be really cool to have. But yeah, so we have this awesome, we're gonna have these different environments. I think it'll be cool to get the one that's on top of the mountain. Will also be a really cool one. You can actually technically import these as sandboxes now, but some of the pieces you can't get rid of because they're locked. And that continues on into the sandbox, unfortunately. So it'll be nice to get these from the start. And then they do kind of go on and show off the auto rotation tool. This is something you can turn on and off for the scenery pieces, as you can see here, which is really, really cool. And you can actually like change the degrees and everything like that. So it's really, really neat that you can do that now. So it's just kind of ease of access and everything like that. Very, very nice minor thing to include. You can also turn the audio off now on custom billboards. So that was another complaint that they were getting, that you couldn't turn the audio off on these billboards, which is a nice thing that they're going to be adding as well. I love that they're already taking feedback from this last update and implementing it into the very next update weeks later. Like, that is dedication right there. So anyways, so that's going to be really, really cool. I love that. I just love that they're already fixing stuff that people had feedback from in this last update, which was not a lot of negative feedback, but they're fixing a few things from that already. So I'm really happy that they are doing such things, and it's incredible. So we'll get to the D-themed cars here that they added. So this is the hydraulic launch, the Intamin hydraulic launch, like you would see on Formula Rosa. This is going to be one in this update that's also getting the D-themed cars, so you can make like the ones without the theming on it, which you'll see they'll change it here. And the D-themed trains look really, really nice too. I like that they're just plain and that you can decorate them the way you want, and they're just kind of like normal cars or normal trains. You know, some trains, or, you know, cars actually do that. or a lot of cars are like that. They're just D-themed. They don't have theming to them. Now, the second one, and of course they're adding the scenery pieces of those as well, so you can attach them, say, to other rides if you really wanted to, or do whatever you want with them, which is another cool feature. Now, the second coaster is a little bit more interesting to me, because it is the next gen Vekoma, like the jet one, where you could only have 2 cars on these ones. Now these are getting de-themed ones as well, which the trains look pretty solid. They look really good. So it looks like your regular next gen Vekoma trains. Now they did not show off if you can add extra cars onto these. I have a suspicion that they will. I don't know why they wouldn't show it here or address that, because that is one of the biggest things people are, voicing their opinion about, is not being able to do more than 2 cars. I think they're going to change it in this update. It could be later, but I think it will get changed at some point. And then the next one here, we got the Vekoma SLC returning, which was the Mind Melt in Planet Coaster 1. It is the returning ride for this update. So really cool to see that this is going to be coming back from Planet Coaster 1. So love to see that they're getting these things back into the game that were in Planco 1 that should have been in the game already. So then they go into a water park, and they're going to show off here a little bit of the deformation stuff. You can also see that they've enhanced a few things, like you can get more information about your guest refunds and such like that in those menus, which is pretty cool. But then they just kind of go on about a few things here, just a little bit of the improvements, and then they talk about a lot of those. And you can't see it as clearly with these ones as big as the big rafts, but you can kind of see like they did add the rounded bottoms to these water slides. So now they do have the rounded bottoms. I do think that the rafts still look pretty locked onto the track, but they did say if you have too much force coming into a turn, if you have it turned on, this is something you can turn on and off, by the way. But they do look much more realistic and fluid going around those turns. So very, very positive to see that happening, and that you're going to have to use these taller side pieces on some of your places. Actually are going to have to use them. Now, they did mention that you can turn this on and off, that your older flumes are going to be defaulted to off. Your older ones that are already built are going to have the setting turned off. So you want to make sure you turn those on if you want to have the realistic movement, and if you didn't profile it properly, they might fly off. So, which is actually pretty funny, and I can't wait to see what people do. And they say when you build the new flumes, that setting will be on by default. So, very, very cool to see that. And then they go over and show off the larger flume. Let's go back a little bit here. So you can see the new deformation where it actually goes with the round pieces of the flume. So it looks the large raft looks really, really good. And you can just see that it looks more realistic and fluid, and they're doing a really good job on. I'm just impressed with how fast they were able to get some of this stuff out. I wish they would have thought of this for the launch as well, but hey, I'm just glad that they're hearing our voices and they're doing a lot to make us happy with these things. So I'm not going to say it looks completely perfect. Like, that turn looks a little bit interesting, but they did mention here that if you are going too fast around a curve, they can fly off. So I think they even said the raft ones can do that as well. So it's something that'll be fun to test out, and it looks like I still don't think it's like completely physics based, because I don't think their engine is the best for like physics based. Something I do note over here, actually, no, that's always been like that. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, I don't think, have we had the option to change the colors on the stairs? I think we have. It's just the the railings on the top. We haven't had the option. But anyways, I'm really happy with how that looks, and flumes aren't the biggest thing with me, but I think this looks fantastic and 100 times better than what they had before. And then obviously you can like just launch your guests right off if you have hills that are way too small after a steep hill and stuff like that. Really cool to see that. And this is all coming on March 20th, very shortly. We don't have to wait too long for this. So very cool to see. And then of course we have the teaser at the end where they teased the Western theming coming back from Planet Coaster 1. And looking through all this footage, you can easily tell that they literally just ported everything from Planet Coaster 1. Maybe they'll have some extra pieces. I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe they add a few more. It doesn't have to be a ton, but you can definitely tell, like, everything here came from Planet Coaster 1. Like, these wagons were in the game, and, like, these benches, the trash bins, these walls, these everything, all that theming, all these pieces, I recognize all these pieces from Planet Coaster 1. Like, they literally are just bringing them over, which is pretty cool. And I love seeing the guest up here on a balcony. That's actually a pretty neat touch. And then this animatronic, we all know the cowboy animatronics. It looks like they still have the poles up their butt. That's one thing I kind of wish they would have changed. I don't like the poles up their butt. But anyways, regardless, I'm happy to have them back. Yeah, this looks fantastic. You can see these signs, and I'm so excited that we'll have all these pieces and we can rescale them. Just think about that, though. Like, we'll be able to scale these items that we had in Planet Coaster 1. So it'll be really cool, and I think them releasing this original theme will open it up to return all of the existing themes from the previous game, and I think they're going to do it in each update. Hopefully, maybe we'll get more than one at a time. I would love to see, like, maybe April, we get 2 of those themes. I'm trying to remember all the themes that we had. Obviously, we had sci-fi, fantasy, and I'm just thinking base game. Sci-fi, fantasy, and all those other things that were in Planet Coaster 1. I think we're going to get those back. I think we're going to get all the base game themes back. I would love for them to bring back some of the themes that were in DLC. Studios Adventure are the two, and yeah, Studios Adventure and Spooky are the 3 themes that I want the most to come back that were DLC. So maybe they'll come back in some way, shape, or form in a DLC pack. I don't know. I'd be fine if those were in a DLC because they were DLC in Planet Coaster 1. But as long as they add maybe more to it, potentially. But I think it's already going to be cool enough that we'll be able to scale it. The reason why I mainly want Studios is so we can get our cars back into the game. That's what I use Studios a lot. It also had a lot of cool animatronic pieces and such like that. Spooky, I just love scary stuff and making horror type rides and such. I think that's usually the funnest. One of the most fun things to do is, you know, create like horror themed attractions. And then also, of course, Adventure had a lot of great pieces for like dark rides and different other themes as well. And obviously just the Adventure theme works so well, I think, in the game also. So it'll be awesome. I think Planet Coaster 2 is finally at the end of these 4 updates. I think Planet Coaster 2 will be at a level where it is 100% above Planet Coaster 1 when it comes to features and, I don't want to say like scenery pieces because we still have a lot to go, but content-wise, I think it will be about where it should have been at launch and what everyone was expecting. We'll have the original themes back from Planet Coaster 1, I think, so I think we're going to get all of them back. I think we will. And, we'll get all those back, and then we have, on top of that, the themes that they introduced in Planet Coaster 2, so you're getting so much more, plus what we had before, which is what everyone wanted. I hope they get all the coasters back with these updates as well, including the flat rides as well. I don't think there's like a ton, but I think they are slowly going to get all those rides that were in Planet Coaster 1 back into Planet Coaster 2, unless they were like obscure ones that really no one really cared about. I think those are fine to leave out if they want to, but I truly think we're going to be in a place where Planet Coaster 2 has all of Planet Coaster 1's assets, but more. I think we're trending towards that overall, and I'm excited to see what they hopefully they reveal what's going to be in the update in May. Now that we know what's coming in April, for the most part, I still think that they always like to throw surprises right before they come out too, like the Western theming. I wasn't expecting these themes to come to the game so quickly. Like, this Western theme is coming in the very next update. So that's awesome on Frontier, and I give them a huge pat on the back for that. And I just want to thank them so much for trying to make things right after they made a mistake by releasing this game probably way before it should have been released. But at the same time, I am very much forgiving with how hard they've been putting, how much work they've been putting into this game ever since that negative feedback. I hope to all things that are good that this helps bring back the player base, and I think we need to get the word out that the game is getting to where it needs to be. They fixed so many bugs, they fixed so many issues. Are they all gonna get fixed? Probably not. I mean, I don't think any game's perfect by any means when it comes to that kind of stuff. But my goodness, they are doing everything. I love this shot of King Coaster, by the way. It's amazing. But I am so excited, guys. I'm so excited for what the future holds for this game. We're getting some crazy things. I think the only thing that holds this game back a little bit after all these updates is if we do not get a scenario editor or Theme Maker's Toolkit. I think that those are like the things that I think it needs for the end game, right? I don't know how soon something like the Theme Maker's Toolkit would come to the game. Planet Zoo never got it, so I'm not sure if it's something they're going to try and go away with because they want to keep the game as stable as possible. And I don't know how you would be able to put it on the Frontier Workshop. That would be cool because then you could import it probably on console, but it would probably be an exclusive Steam thing potentially where you have to use the Steam Workshop for Theme Maker's Toolkit. Maybe it's something they have to figure out, but I think it would be incredible to have the Theme Maker's Toolkit and allow console players to download that content as well. I think that would be the biggest W, because I know console players had to miss out on Theme Maker's Toolkit in Planet Coaster 1. I think, is it possible? I don't think so, and I'm not expecting it. So I don't want you guys to expect Theme Maker's Toolkit to come to console or anything like that. Just like the custom audio, custom video cannot go to console either. The only reason why I think it's possible is because the way the Frontier Workshop is laid out. If they make it to where you can upload these things directly to the workshop, I feel like it could be downloaded to a console game, you know, potentially. But I know they're going to want to make sure that the performance and optimization is perfect, and I know having a lot of Theme Maker's Toolkit items sometimes did kind of mess with the game's performance overall, so maybe that's why they're looking away from it. But I think having the scaling tool has already helped a lot with creating more unique pieces and such, and creating stuff that we couldn't in Planet Coaster 1 just off of the games. And I think just adding a lot of scenery pieces could also help with that as well, having that scaling tool. So but yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What are you most excited for these updates, and what do you hope is in that last update? Personally, I think they're going to add hotels in that May update, since we're getting restaurants in March, in the March update. So, March. In the April update, sorry, that they revealed. March is not restaurants, that's April. And then May is the one, I think, that they're getting the hotels. That's my personal opinion. I think hotels are coming back to the game. Restaurants are coming back, so hotels are definitely have to be up next, right? That's just my prediction. Let me know in the comment section what your prediction is, and are you excited? And what D-themed coasters do you want to see next? I think I want to see the RMC to have a D-themed version. I think that would be one of the biggest ones for me. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for Frontier? That they are finally doing everything they can to make this game the best it can be, to try and get the players back into the game. Are you still holding out? Are you guys still on Planet Coaster 1, or are you going to hold out until all these updates are out? I personally think it's worth to pick up the game now, as it's thriving. I think it's going in a really good trajectory right now, and each of these updates are adding so much content, and everything is free, no DLC, just as the community asked, because obviously the community was a little bit outraged that they put out a DLC before having a lot of the game fixes. So I really think it opened up Frontier's eyes, and they realized their mistake, and they're just going to listen to the community at this point, which is a huge W for us and them. So anyways, love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments section. That's about all I got for my reaction today on the Frontier Unlocked stream and what we're getting in the future. I'll try and keep you guys updated as much as I can for if we hear more news and such like that. So, and be sure to check out my Winland Adventure Resort park that I've been working on, my big project. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to support us further, make sure you become a channel member. Channel members get access to my videos early. So make sure you check that out. But anyways, make sure you guys have a great day and be cool tomorrow, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks, and goodbye.